Hi, Olivier.
Hi.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah.
Could you introduce yourself and tell us what you work and what you do?
Yeah. So I'm a freelancer from France. I work as a contractor for the Angular core team, and I work mostly on i18n stuff, internationalization, and I also have other job with some company doing some consulting and stuff like that.
And you're going to be giving a talk called Lost in Translation?
Yeah, it's a workshop tomorrow, the last one of the day.
Okay.
Let's hope people come. And I'm gonna demo how you can use Angular built-in i18n to translate your application.
Cool. I'm curious, what brought you to why are you working with translations in Angular?
Yeah, so it's a funny story actually. When Angular was released in alpha a long time ago, I wanted to start working on a project to learn Angular. So I decided to do a library, and in AngularJS there was this awesome library from Pascal Prech, which was ng-conf, and I decided to try to do that in Angular 2 at the time, and I started this library and actually found out that it was something that a lot of people were looking for, so I decided to keep working on it, and that's how I started working on translation and stuff like that.
Cool. So what do you think when companies starting to think about adding translations to their application, what kind of things do you think they should be thinking about?
So first of all, the most important thing that you have to decide is if it fits in your website in a design point of view, because when you work in multilanguage application, you have to take into account that strings can take a lot of room in certain languages. Mm-hmm. Your application should be ready for this kind of stuff before you even start working on the code. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you will have a bad experience, I guess. And then you should probably look at the different solutions on the market. So I have a library named ng-translate, which is an external library, and I also work now on the core team on i18n. So this is another solution, and there are some other libraries that do that as well. And you have to. It depends what kind of website you're making. If it's an application or if it's just a mobile app or something. But sometimes you have translation features available on your server side as well. So if you can mix this with the front side, it can be nice as well.
So the design consideration and also like where you can get the data from for the actual translations? Yeah. What do you think is the hardest part of building a multilingual application?
So I think what's hard, it's that you need to translate strings in a lot of parts of your application, and sometimes it's hard to have one source of data. So, for example, if you get some error message from your server and you want to translate them, and you might as well have strings in your UI, and then you have services that will log stuff. So it's important I think it's important to have one source of data for the translation, and then you can use this in all of your application. Well, translating is difficult, but it's probably not what the developers will do.
Right. Is there some things that developers should be careful about when doing multilingual translations?
Well, I'll talk about the design part.
Yeah.
They should also, some languages are hard. I'm thinking about some, for example, Chinese or Japanese, which have different characters from the European or American characters. And also some languages are readable from right to left.
Right.
And then you have to change your word design because of this.
is there anything about like how you actually write the code that might make it more difficult, or how you make the template that might make it more difficult for you to do the translations?
Well, from right to left languages, sometimes you have to flip your whole UI. So you can do this with some CSS, but mostly your application should be modular enough that you can move the pieces. And there are also a lot of strange language rules in some languages that makes it difficult to adapt your text. Let's say, for example, if you say that I just bought 10 t-shirts,
Right.
and then in certain languages you will want to say that well, the number should be at a different place in the sentence,
Right.
and sometimes they have plurals that are different depending on the number. For example, if you have one or two numbers, it's a different plural from, I don't know, 4 or 5.
Right.
In Russian, for example, they have some rules like this. So you should make your website the most agnostic possible way. For example, you would just put t-shirts, column, and the number or something like that. That's easier to translate in another language.
I see. What can be done to make it easier to build a multilingual application in Angular?
So if you're talking about just the Angular, the main packages.
Yeah.
So right now we can translate application just in the templates. You can only use i18n in the templates. We are working hard on improving the support so that we can use it in the code as well. So that's what I'm working on right now.
Okay.
It's something that a lot of people are looking forward to have in the code, the core of Angular. We also have to improve the way dates and numbers are handled, because right now we're using something called Intel, which is a standard library that you can import in your code.
Okay.
But we only use some part of it, and it's not the best thing. Some exceptions make it difficult to use some of the features from Angular. Let's say, for example, dates. You cannot configure exactly how you want to write dates if you use the date pipe. So we need to improve this. Maybe also the toolings. We have some tools that let you extract strings and generate translation files, but then it could probably be better, because right now, if you're changing your text, it will overwrite, and you will lose some of your translations. So we are always looking for feedback on this and see how we can improve it.
Okay. So that's a call to action, right?
Yeah, sure.
So can we use the Angular's built-in i18 to create multilingual applications, or is that not ready yet?
So yeah, like I said, you can use it if you want to translate only your templates.
Okay.
For the code, at Google they use Clojure, the Clojure library that has some i18n features. So right now that's what they're using in their code. But we will add this to Angular so that you can use it everywhere.
Okay.
And we will not add Clojure. We will add the support for i18n in your code.
So the built-in Angular i18, i18n, what's built in right now into Angular? Is there anything?
Yeah. So the fact that you can use it in your templates, that you
Okay.
can extract and merge the translation back into your application.
Okay.
So this is usable, but most of the team need it in their code as well.
Oh, okay.
So it depends on what you're doing. Some parts might be missing for your use case.
What's the best way to find you on the internet?
Oh, you can find me on Twitter,
Okay.
at Ocombe, and on GitHub. But if you want to chat, well, my email is on GitHub as well.
Okay.
So you can find it. Yeah.
Are you in the? Is there an Angular community Slack or something like that?
So I'm on Slack and Angular Buddies, which is a Slack that people can join.
Okay.
We have a very active community, so if you are looking for answers and help, and if you want just chat with other people that do Angular, you can join this Slack.
Hey there. Are you into reactive programming using JavaScript? Do you have to deal with asynchrony in your web app? Then join this instructor Ben Lesh to learn all of the ins and outs of RxJS in his hands-on workshop. Available online and in person, go to rxworkshop.com for more details and to book your spot today. Hey there. Do you use Angular? Do you like fun in the sun? And how do you feel about boats? If you're nodding yes, then come join us on ng-cruise to learn more about Angular while on a fabulous Caribbean cruise. Check out ng-cruise.com for speaker lineup, workshop details, and to book your spot today.